UFC 294 is over. Mark and I are going to go over the fallout of the main card, but before we do, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as we have brand new videos every single week. So Mark, Islam Makhachev KO'd Alexander Volkanovski in the first round. Did you expect the fight to go this way?
Absolutely not. Like, a short training camp, 11 days, 5 days, but I mean, Islam...
5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Volkanovski, you can't say... Look, he did as well as what he could on 3 hours' notice to come into this fight, but the head kick, I don't think you can blame that at all on a short training camp. That landed... I mean, Volk, you could see that he was getting his arm up, he was getting his guard, but that landed clean, crisp. His head was bouncing around like a Churchill dog. You can't say fairer than that.
100%. There was no way, if he'd have trained longer or anything like that, that leg kick wouldn't have gone through. And what I found amazing, though, about Volk there, though, is he read it. He saw that kick coming and he still put his arm up, but he just got through, just dinked the top of his head. And I think the big problem is, do you think that weight division, they're just too big and too strong for someone like Volk, who's at 5'6", fights at 145? Or he was 200 pounds as a rugby player, but we'll forget about that.
No. Honestly, I don't. I mean, because we kind of zigzag for it. If Volk would have done it or even went the distance, we could still say, but it's Islam Makhachev. He's the champion. There's plenty of other fights I think that Volk could really hold his own in. But it's against Islam. This one, look, short notice. We've said before, though. Dwayne, I'll ask you, do you think this is Volk's chance at a lightweight title scrapped now?
Yeah, he's too old. He's 35 now. I think he'll have a couple more good scraps at featherweight and call it a day. I just can't imagine him moving up again anytime soon unless Islam Makhachev loses, and I do not see that coming at any point soon either. But with the grappling exchanges within that first round, did you expect Volk to be doing so well in the grappling? I did not expect that. I got excited when he just turned around on the fence.
I was going to say, when you said so well, it wasn't like, he got on top and he was in ground and pound, full mount, that kind of thing. He turned him round on the fence and got a few strikes off. But he was defending well, and I don't know, it was hard to tell because there's many factors, including the short camp, obviously, that had ended the first round. It's kind of hard to gauge a fight when it lasts just that short amount of time. Speaking of short amount of time, the whole entire main card took about 2 hours.
Ridiculous. We had one fight on the main card go out of the first round, go the distance. Insane. But with Islam now, do you think this makes him one of the best lightweights of all time?
I don't think you can call that claim
yet. It's too early.
It's too early. Look, he's had 2 defences of his title. He's beat Charles Oliveira, and the names before that, if you remember, we were all saying that he doesn't deserve a title shot after beating Bobby Green was his last one before the title. He's got a lot of work to do because he hasn't fought the biggest names, the who's, the Justin Gaethjes, the Dustin Poiriers. He hasn't fought these names yet. In time, maybe. He's on his road. He's on his road to beating because Volk, whether he's going up the weight division or not, Volk's one of the best pound for pound ever. So
100%. And that's the thing. I think now Islam's going to have to move up those pound for pound rankings. To be honest, they don't mean anything to me. No. They don't matter. But I think he'll be put into number 2, maybe even number 1. He might knock John Jones off there. But with Islam, I know we don't want to talk too much about fights moving forward. But do you think we should get Charles versus Islam 2, or do you think it's time for Justin Gaethje to jump up and fight Islam?
We've said before about different fights that the UFC moves fast. Charles, he got cut in training, 12 days out of the fight. I think he's kind of missed his chance. Gaethje should be good to go fairly soon. Depends how soon Islam wants to get in there, but Gaethje even said after his fight with Fiziev, he has one more run at the title and then that's him done. So I can't imagine that he wants to waste too much time. He wants to give Islam the best, youngest, strongest, fittest version of himself. I don't want to write Charles off because I love to see him fight, but at the same time, it's just how fast-paced the UFC moves. We don't have time to wait for someone just to recover.
No, and someone who's pulled out twice already this year and then might pull out again. But either way, I'm really, really excited to see what Islam does and where the lightweight division does, and if Justin can come up and bite at that championship belt. But talking of champions, the former champion Kamaru Usman went against Islam Makhachev. Not Islam Makhachev, Khamzat Chimaev. I'm just excited.
Yeah.
It gone up a whole weight division to fight
Hamzat.
How did you feel about this fight? Did you expect Usman to do as well as he did? Did you expect him to survive those 3 rounds?
I did. Well, 2 things. I didn't expect him to get quite possibly 10-8. I didn't even hear the scorecards at the end.
It was really confusing with the scorecard.
It's weird.
Bruce messed up somewhere.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Usman was the only one who was actually surprised by that. But I didn't expect Hamzat to have such a dominant first round. Usman, I've never seen Usman like that. We even said during the live stream, I've never seen this happen. But then to hold his own against Hamzat, it's easy for me to say as an armchair fan, but you can see the cracks. You almost see the blueprints of people beating Hamzat. You know, like say how Gilbert did in the pocket, these strikes,
He
that kind of
struggles
thing.
in that pocket.
You can't call someone chinny who's undefeated.
No.
But, and how dominant as he is. But you can see there's a bit of a blueprint there that's forming. And, you know, if Gilbert can't do it, Usman can't do it, and you're thinking, who can?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Definitely. Especially now that he's up in a bigger weight division with big, strong guys who have some fantastic striking. And yeah, I think you're right. I think with Hamzat, it's clear his striking is not as high a level it needs to be at this level of the sport. He was not liking it when Usman was cracking him with these jabs and those little 1-2 combinations, and he certainly didn't like it with Gilbert as well. So I think that's could be a real problem for him. But if he focuses on his striking defence and you don't need to go in the pocket, just back off. You don't need to do it. Just shoot. But, you know, I think it was an amazing fight. And really, really exciting.
Intense from start to finish.
So intense. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting Usman to recover after that first round. I thought, we've seen it now. Hamzat's just going to keep just shooting takedowns, getting him down. But Usman defended so well in that second and third round. Super, super well. I think I had him winning the second. But even though Hamzat did win, I felt like maybe one of the judges could have just pushed it to Usman, especially in that last round, because Usman got more offense off, and then Hamzat got a takedown. So does that make it enough to win that third round? And I guess the first probably a 10-8, right?
Yeah, it's so. That's the annoying thing is with judging is it's never that clear cut, because you think that damage trumps all, and then you go, well, in the third, Usman, you know, he did score a lot. You know, he was doing the damage, but so was Hamzat as well. He was racking up some significant strikes, and the takedown at the end could just secure it. I'd like to believe, again, I don't think anyone can make this claim that they understand exactly how the judging's done, but I'd like to believe that when it's clear, it's so close striking, they've got to go for like ground control time, everything else like that. So you're like, well, I don't disagree with that decision whatsoever. I think Hamzat definitely won.
100%.
I think it's about time us personally put some more respect on Hamzat now.
Definitely.
Because I'm one of those, an undefeated fighter, it doesn't matter who they are. I'm weird like that. I like to see an undefeated fighter get beat, then I can become a fan of them, because I don't like the kind of cockiness that comes with it. But hell, Hamzat, to be able to do that to Kamaru Usman in the first round, I've never ever seen that happen to Usman.
Yeah, it's an amazing fight, and I can't wait to see what both guys do next. Well, we know what Hamzat's doing next. He's going to be fighting Sean Strickland probably within a few months. But we'll see, because Hamzat's not super active, so we'll see how that all plays out. But Strickland is active. He's going to be looking for a fight. But let's move on to another fight in another division. The soap opera division of the UFC, the light heavyweight division, is all over the shop. And I assumed this was going to be a number one contender with Johnny Walker, Magomedov, and Kalaev. And this ended in a no contest from an illegal blow. Wild. How does that happen?
It was such a strange one, because when it happened and Johnny stood up, I thought he was fine.
Yeah.
And the way he was talking, like you said in the live stream as well, though, the ref and the doctor is asking, are you okay? Can you continue? Well, that, and there is a language barrier there as well that you've got to be aware of. And he's not exactly going to... It's a difficult one, because you go, it looked fine, it seemed fine. Both of them were ready for a second round. Magomed and Johnny Walker.
I thought they were going to fight in the arena there and then.
Dana White. Dana White got involved in the cage. He's thinking flashbacks of Khabib and Conor, like, oh no, what the hell's going to happen here? I thought it was stupid. That decision, surely, and this isn't just because I didn't have a bet on, by the way. Yeah, we all know why Dwayne's upset. But just in the sense of, how would that be a no contact? If he said that he couldn't continue and it was definitely clear that he couldn't, then fair enough. But I mean, just the way that it came out.
But even if he couldn't continue, right? This is my line of thought on it, right? If it's decided he can't continue because of an illegal strike, then it's a DQ win.
Aljamain Sterling
Yeah,
and
it's
Cody Allen.
exactly the same. It makes zero sense. Zero sense to me, and I don't understand it. But it just is what it is. There was some really, really weird reffing tonight anyway, especially on the prelims. Like, Nathaniel Wood got kicked in the bollocks twice. The guy who was fighting grabbed his gloves, grabbed the fence. Oh, it's just an insane card. Really, really weird. But I've loved all of it. I've literally loved all those cards.
Well, it's just such a treat to be at this time in the UK. I mean, look at this. It's 20 to 10 at night.
I'm normally having a nap at this time, ready for the main card.
And that's it, it's done, over. UFC 294 is in the bag. Like you said, great event. I mean, the main card, like you said, one fight in the main card, seen a second round.
It's insane.
Well, it's in a third round as well, but that's it. The rest of them ended within the first. That was crazy.
100%. Crazy card, one for the making, but I do think that's all we've got time for. Thank you everyone for watching. If you can like, comment and subscribe, it really does help us out.